Where are we going? We're going to a waterfall. What's the name?
Oh no.
What's the name of the waterfall?
It's called Boma Waterfall.
Boma.
Yeah.
And how big is it? How tall?
No idea about how tall it is.
Tall.
Yes. I think it's
Tavuni got a little bit of money.
lots of money.
Lots of money.
Lots of money, yeah.
Yeah.
Because of farming.
Yeah.
How come? Because of the film and all that sort of thing?
No, farming.
Farming.
This is the Garden Island of Fiji. So everything's very rich. Soil is very rich.
Yeah. So
A lot of rain too.
Yes. Most of the people, when they, for example, teachers and police officer, when they've been told to come and work in Tariuni, most of them they come and resign here. They resign from their work because of the money in the farm.
Yes.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Wow.
Teros and cover.
Yeah.
Yes. Now the
Lots of harbours right here.
yes, I think it's the best place to plant covers in Fiji, and they got the strongest cover here.
Is it?
Yes. So right now it's 80 to 90, sometimes goes up to $150 a kg for a kilo of cover.
Expensive, isn't it?
Yes. Imagine those. Yeah. One of the rats there, I punch them, and they knock. Tell Uncle, take them out. Bring 2 new good ones inside.
How long do you hate them for?
No, only that.
Only just
See all the teeth marks still there. My kids always ask me, Dad, what's that? No, I can't do that knife. I never want to tell them about it.
You don't tell them that you
No, because I have to teach them how to play well right now.
Why?
On this rainy, windy day and fairly big seas, we set out from Tavuni to get to Makongai, which is a little island right in the middle of the ocean in between the 2 big islands of Fiji. And the economy pretty much runs on growing clams and turtles, which are sold by the village to various resorts around Fiji. The whole operation is sponsored by the government,
Wow, you girls at school.
but the money comes in from the resorts to pay for the turtles and clams which are put in the ocean near the resorts to entertain the tourists. The spawn from one large clam are put into these tanks, which are freshened every day with fresh seawater that they pump up from the ocean.
The giant clam.
Yeah.
And you can see that they go through
grow
various
into that.
stages before they're
How
big
long?
enough to sell on to the resorts.
Okay.
Same thing
When
happens
we
with
walk
the
around the
turtles.
beach around the island, when we saw the eggs there, that we give, then we're waiting for them to be.
And then you take them to the resort.
Yeah, we have to check them. You wanna?
How old is that turtle?
2 years now.
2 years.
Yeah.
Oh, it's got things living on it. What are those?
This is the skin.
No, but there's little lights. I saw it kind of come up like that. corn.
This one, the one we always eat the dirty, what you call this? In 1 month. Then we do our shopping at the Buka. This time we only eat crabs and fish.
Ah.
No sugar, no rice.
You got no sugar left
Yeah.
in
no
the whole
rice.
village, and no rice.
Because the boat not yet come back. We are waiting for the boat to come. Then we do our shopping at the old capital.
So why are you doing that?
Huh?
Why are you putting him under the...
Why do you bury them?
Because that one is already there.
Oh, he's dead.
But this one's alive.
This one is the male one.
Yes. Big nippers.
The female one is the red one.
Ah.
So each woman could have 1 or 2.
We were told that this lady was the best woman to distribute the Days for Girls bags and kits to the women of the village. So I explained the various sizes and the information that was in the leaflet in each kit to this lady, and she said she would hand them out to the various girls and women in the village.
So what's in here? This is everything about menstruation, the mensa, and how the cycle happens. So some women get 7 days, 26, some are 30. So, each woman works out 30 or 60 a year. So that you can cross on the day.
Yes.
These are for the ladies.
Yes. Okay. Yeah.
Right?
Before the current community lived on the island of Makongai, the island was used for people with leprosy to go to, and they lived here and they were treated here. That was then closed down, and people were invited to move to the island, and the current chief has been the first chief of the island. And this is his son, Johnny, who was our guide for the day.
Buka, the old capital of Fiji. You can see there the river all along there. You can see there Naingani down there.
Oh, yes, that's important.
Naingani.
And Namina?
Namina there.
Johnny took us on a 10-kilometre walk through the rainforest on a well-worn track that's used by the children every day to attend their school. So they all walk 10 kilometres each way every day to attend the school. And there are a number of houses here as well, including those for the various teachers at the school. We asked the children if they'd come with us to collect some shells on the beach, and loads of them came along, and they were just absolutely delightful. They looked for shells and ran up to me so often with a whole handful of shells. Some were good to keep and some were pretty old and tattered, but it was the thought that they wanted to collect shells for me that was very touching. I also had some lovely chats with the older girls about school, what books they like to read, what they were going to do after they finished school. It was very enjoyable. We left Makongai and sailed over the top of the large island in Fiji back to Denarau. We asked our favourite taxi driver Joe to take us to some places in the countryside, and this was a real highlight of our trip, the therapeutic mud baths.
And after that, when you finish this one, number 1, we go straight to number 2, number 3, number 4. 4 pools.
And they're cooler or hotter?
Hotter. Cooler, hotter, and the last one, number 4 is hot. Good for you.
Okay, so we get the mud out of the mud pool.
Come and get dirty.
Then we're going to get dirty. Therapeutic mud. Let me put this on.
Clay, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes, it's video.
Ya beli YouTube bukan nak sakit. Bukan gila. Like pizza now. Change your color.
Yes.
Your hair. Undoubtedly everybody will be able to see the difference in the upcoming videos. This mud bath is made to Margie and myself.
My 6 pack is warming already.
Tambah gas lagi.
Well, sadly we've left Fiji. Got a 1600 nautical mile ocean passage. We've got approval to stop in New Caledonia if we need to for fuel or for weather window. And probably one of the most amazing, beautiful passages we've had so far. We've got like 15 to 18 knots, 120 degree wind, slight seas as you can see. We've got the mainsail and the screecher up. We're doing 8 to 10 knots. And it's very comfortable. We have our AB tender on the back of the boat on the lifting platform. So I've got 4 tie-down straps, 2 going crosswise, 45 degrees, and 1 at either end holding the front or back in. Got the life raft sitting there. Got to find a spot to put that more convenient. But we'll do that. Oh, you can see how beautiful the sea is. Just amazing. Screecher out in the main. You can see there, the wind's at 90 degrees true now, 120 apparent. 264 nautical miles to go to Elder Pines. This is our passage. You can see 13 knots, 14 knots of apparent 10.2 speed. Pretty good. might wonder how we communicate with the world when we're in the middle of the ocean. Like most boats these days, we have an Iridium Go. That's the head unit there. It's a matter of lifting up that antenna, that turns it on, and then you just hook your mobile phone to it. So I can get this, the Iridium Go app, and log in, get message, and simple as that. You can see the message come through. So with the package we get, we have professional package. It's a couple $100 a month, I think, or 180, something like that. You get 150 minutes of talk time, so you can just dial with your mobile phone and talk. There's a time delay everyone's got to get used to. Or you can send a text message like you normally send a text message. Unlimited text messages, unlimited emails, and download very small download files, but we can download the weather files of Predict Wind. Predict Wind are our heroes when crossing the ocean. No doubt about that. This is the external area for the Iridium Go. It needs to be in a spot with nothing over the top of it, and it will increase your reception. So the third day in a row here with the screecher and the mainsail up, it's incredible conditions we were having. We were averaging over 8 knots over the 24-hour period. So, you know, we're averaging 200 nautical miles per day. It's just incredible sailing. You can see how quick we're slicing through here. We had current behind us, and then any swell there was behind us. So everything was spot on. I never changed the sail set here for 6 days, I think it was. It was only on the 6th, 7th and 8th day that the wind got up to got over 18 knots true, so we pulled the screecher down and put the genoa up, and you know, we were seriously flying then. The lifting platform and having quite a large tender with a console and power steering, electric start and all that is a must for us. So this is how we strap it down. We have straps crisscrossing and one front and back, and the nylon chocks there are locked in, so the boat just does not move. These shots here are when we're about 280 mile off the Australian coast. We're coming across the sea mountains. The sea kicked up to about 3.5 metres and did get to about 25-30 knots at times, but you can see that swell there. It was sort of after the beam. We were pushing along. We were surfing at a tremendous speeds at times. So it was hang on, but it was, you know, totally safe and quick. In this little stretch of our crossing from Fiji to Australia, In one 24-hour period, we did do 242 nautical miles. It's just incredible. We leave our clears zipped up all the time on crossing. Leave the back window open or back door into the cabin open, and it makes it all comfy, keeps all the salt and everything out of the boat. It's just great. One of the most crucial pieces of information we have on the boat, or devices, is our Predict Wind offshore app paired up with our Iridium Go. Margie's just given it. So what we do a download. We've already set up our boat polars. We do the intervals, rain, wave, gust, cape, temperature, whichever one of those we want to tick. And then we check that we've got all the right, and we, for comfort and speed, and check our motoring speed, our polar adjustments, and then we just go to download. You see it's only a small file because it works off the Iridium Go, the Iridium satellite. You can't do big files. So with this package you get 150 minutes of talk time, you get unlimited text and unlimited emails, and I can tell you it is one very handy piece of gear. We know people that used the phone call part of it to be rescued when their boat sunk from hitting an anchor rope or a large rope, and they were able to talk to the cruise ship that picked them up. We had personal experience in the middle of the night when our engines wouldn't go, and we were able to ring through the Iridium to an electrician who talked us through to get the engines going. So this takes a while to download, maybe 15 minutes. So once your download is complete, you end up with this screen. You close that down and you get the tables. So there's different weather reading there, so you can see the 14th now, true wind speed 19.7, true wind direction 129 degrees, speed over ground 10.1. It seems very fast, but believe it or not, we're doing more than that. And course over ground, and it gives you 2-hour intervals down there until the end of the journey. And then you've got the GFS or the ECMWF. Then you can go to summary. So this gives you a summary of all the different models. So here's ECM, 14th of October 12:37, finish time 15th at 19:42, time taken 21 hours from now, 204 nautical miles to go, average speed 9.7, blah blah blah. So this down here tells you time reaching, time upwind and time downwind, what sort of speed the wind is, between 8 and 20 knots, and what size the waves are. Then you have a map, and on the map you have wind, the little boats with different models. You can just push play there, and there the little boat goes. You can stop it any time, check. So the wind speed at that spot will be 16 knots. And there we are home. In our opinion, this is the most amazing tool to have on the boat, and we would definitely not go offshore without it.
It's called